The Transfercase shift linkage on a 1996 Ford Bronco, and this shift linkage is applicable to the Bronco, F150, F250, F350 for quite a few years. I'm not sure exactly, 92 through 96, maybe earlier, I don't know. Anyway, this shift linkage had seized up on me and I had taken it off, and I took it apart as much as I could, which wasn't very far, and I put some lithium grease inside this boot here, to help try to free it all up, because this whole thing moves up and down when you use it. When it does work right, it's in the up position like that, and you got to push it down and push the lever forward. Pull the lever backwards in the cab to drop it in a four-wheel drive low, and that's the whole reason why this goes up and down, and it helps lock it into place as well. So I had done all that by taking this apart as much as I can, took this boot off and cleaned it out on the inside, and I really freed this up. It's really free. However, there's a spring inside of here, and that spring is broken, or it's rusted through, or it's lost its springiness. I don't know. I can't get in there because the whole thing's press fitted together. So we're still recording. Yeah, sorry, I had a battery warning on my camera. The whole thing's pressed together, and I really can't get inside of here to replace that spring. That's all that's wrong. So I had to order a new shift lever, and as you've all found, they're expensive. Well, I found one from Dorman. Dorman is a brand that AutoZone carries, and AutoZone wanted a rather large price for it. I'm not going to quote any prices because prices change. I like AutoZone, I like their parts. However, I found the same part on Amazon for $100. And it looks just like this part. So far, I'm pretty happy with the new one, and I'm about to install it. You can see on the old rubber boots here, I coated them with silicone to help make them last longer. And I've done this fix before on my F350, and it worked. I did that fix 3-4 years ago, and it's still working. However, on the F350, the spring that's in here is still really tight, and it's able to hold itself in the up position rather than this weak spring here. It's in the constant down position, and because of that, it makes it kind of weird to shift it into four-wheel drive in the wintertime. And it kind of has a feeling like it could pop out. I don't think it would, but in a pinch, if I need four-wheel drive, I want to be able to click it in. I don't have to worry about this thing not working right. Also, you can't see it. Move my light here. Oh yeah, you can see where the link, not really. Hold the light back here. It's hard to do this two hands. You can kind of see the linkage coming from the transfer case. There's a metal rod, and it connects to this guy that goes up and down. So you might want to order a couple of these bushings that are right here. There's one back there, tip of my finger. Those have a tendency to wear. I'll show you a picture of those in a second. I ordered a couple of those off of Amazon. They have not come in yet. I did find them at Amazon in the help section in a bundle package that comes with all kinds of bushings. So that way, if I need them here tonight, I got them. And I'll have some for a spare later on. Okay, let me get this guy off of here. I'm not going to really go into a whole lot of detail. I'm going to pause the video here in a second. First, I got to take this bolt off. loosen it up. This is the shift lever here that goes up in the cab. This whole thing just pushes up. This guy right here just pushes up. Okay, so I got this apart right here. You do it from back here. There's a nut back there. It's 13 millimeter. Just loosen it up. And this guy is your shifter that goes up in the cab. It just pushes through, and you pull it through, and you end up got to take the boot off out in the cab to access a big nut that's back here. That takes this whole shifter off. I've also disconnected the shift linkage back here. You really can't see it, but it goes to the transfer case. And I got the here's the other end of it right here. Got it hanging down, and I just put 2 screwdrivers in between this and back in here. You really can't see, and I just spread it apart, and the thing popped right off. I got like 3 minutes invested into this so far, and this whole thing is free now. It moves back and forth. You know, that's exactly what it did in the cab too. It wouldn't lock into place. Like there would be neutral. All the way back here would be 4 low, back to neutral, 4 high, and then 2 high. So, all right. There's a split in my video there because the phone rang. I'm trying to get this all done in one shot here. It's not working out. All right, let me get this thing out of here, and we'll check back. Like I previously mentioned, this is inside the cab. I gotta take off this boot. It's done by 4 screws. 1 here, there, here, and there. And the whole thing just comes right off. And interrupted again. People keep calling me. Whenever they call, my video record stops. But anyway, what was I talking about? I think I was talking about taking this boot off. And anyway, I got it off. There's a bolt right here. As you can see, it's got a star in it where we can put in a T50 Torx and get it off, or you can put a socket on it if you want. That Torx seems to work just fine. And once we get this bolt off, this whole thing comes out, and we can put in another one. So anyway, I got it all loosened up, and the whole thing should just come right out. A couple more turns. Yep, there it is. And the whole thing just comes right out. And there it is. Transfer case shifter. The old one compared to the new one, they are exactly the same. The angles, everything is exactly the same. I'm happy to see that. Look at the springiness on this one compared to, look how fast it snaps back. There's a lot of articulation there. The old one, see, it won't even go back up by itself. Just the sheer force of gravity itself will hold that in the down position. And yes, I date my parts. I know, but I'm kind of a perfectionist. One thing I wasn't happy about was one of these guys, little bushings that it comes with. It was broke out of the box. Not too big a deal. I just used one off the old one. They fit in here. The other one fits in there. And the bolt itself goes through them, and the whole thing just kind of rotates on those bushings. This is part of the reason right here why you really can't get the old one apart, because the whole thing is just press fitted together, and you might be able to, you might cause more damage trying to get it apart than just doing something just to get you by. I also picked up some of these from the help section, 14041, and what we're after is this bushing right here, and maybe that one right there. Those go on right here. That's what connects up to the transfer case itself with another rod about yay long. Anyway, let's go put this on. I'm not going to grease up these bushings or anything. They're going to be dry. Grease will just attract dirt, and we don't need any dirt in there anyway. A lot of times that dirt will cause these to seize up, and they'll end up breaking right in here or bending right in there. Then you got to buy a whole new one of these anyway. So you're better off to try to fix your old one before it seizes up if you sense that it's getting kind of stiff on you. All right, check back in a few minutes. All right, so here it is with the new one in place. And honestly, I had to do it twice. The first time I put it in, this had too much free play in it for my liking. And it rattled just a little bit. And I don't want that rattling. You know, I live on a dirt road and out in the middle of nowhere, and it just drives me crazy if that was rattling. So what I did to remedy it was, instead of using the original bolt, instead of using the bolt that this came with, I used the original bolt. And this one just seemed to fit just a little bit different. And I'm pretty happy with the way that fits. It doesn't rattle at all now. And all I gotta do now is put the boot back on. I already got my shift linkage connected up. That is right down there. And I did not have to change that bushing down there, even though I've had it off and on about 3 times. It still fits pretty snug. So those other bushings I bought, the little blister pack from Help, I'm going to end up keeping those. They're only like, what, $5-6 or so. And there's some other parts in there I might be able to use elsewhere down the road. You never know. Some of you Bronco enthusiasts are probably starting to realize some parts are starting to get a little harder to get. At any rate, to get that boot put back on, I'm going to clean all this dog hair and stuff up here. It's all installed, it all works, and everything's all nice and tight. It doesn't rattle like how it was before with the original bolt that holds this linkage on. And I've ran the shift selector through all the positions, so 4 high, neutral, 4 low, verified it all with the dash light, and everything coincides. As far as this Dorman product of 600-602, I'm happy with it. And really not too big a deal. I couldn't use the bolt the kit came with. I don't know if it was just my bolt or if it's going to be every bolt the kit comes with. It doesn't matter. But I got it fixed, and we're ready to rock and roll. Thanks for watching. And just as a recap, that's the shifter assembly, 600-602 from Dorman. You can order that from AutoZone, or I got mine off of Amazon because it was a little bit less expensive. And additionally, Help 14041, and there's some bushings in there that go from the transfer case to this guy. And as it turns out, I didn't need them, but I had them just in case.